Hello, Atlanta Falcons fans. Today we have some exclusive news that you can't miss. So get ready because there's a lot of important information coming. Before continuing, leave your like to support this video. It doesn't cost anything and it helps us a lot. We have a goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers here on the channel. So help us out with your humble like, and if you're new here, take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel. Our goal is to always keep you updated. Thank you, and let's go straight to today's news. Atlanta Falcons in the running for other top edge rushers set to hit the market. The Atlanta Falcons are expected to be a top player in free agency this offseason when certain edge rushers become available. The Falcons may have options at the position beyond Myles Garrett. The Philadelphia Eagles and edge rusher Josh Sweat could go their separate ways this offseason. Sweat, who is only 27 years old, would command more than $20 million annually. That number could increase depending on where Sweat ends up. With a stellar performance in this year's Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs, tallying 3 sacks and 7 pressures on the QB, his services are sure to command the highest bid, creating a war. Signing Sweat would be a challenge given Atlanta's salary cap situation, but there are other options besides Myles Garrett, who recently requested his release from his duties with the Cleveland Browns. Jets edge rusher Haason Reddick will also test the free agency waters after a significant drop in numbers while in New York. Reddick had 4 straight years in Philadelphia averaging double-digit sacks. Still, even with the decline, new Atlanta defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich could reunite with Reddick after spending the last part of 2024 as his interim head coach with the Jets. The one thing I can say about Haason with 100% certainty, and I'm very honored to have coached him and been around him, is that this guy is willing to do whatever it takes. He's one of the most unselfish players I've ever been around, Ulbrich said in late December. One thing is for sure in Atlanta, whether it's through free agency or building toward the NFL draft, Atlanta has spent years figuring out how to pressure opposing quarterbacks. Ulbrich takes the blame for creating that pressure and believes Reddick still has some valuable years left at the position. Falcons trade for Browns Myles Garrett considered unlikely. The Atlanta Falcons have long been a black hole for pass rushers, whether it's draftees Vic Beasley or Takk McKinley, or high-profile veteran acquisitions like Dante Fowler Jr. and Matthew Judon. Maybe Cleveland Browns star Myles Garrett will change that. According to ESPN, the Falcons are an unlikely trade option for Garrett, who requested to leave Cleveland on February 3rd, but Atlanta is still a plausible signing location and there should be a conversation about the standout pass rusher. This would be a move a decade in the making, as the Falcons have spent years trying to find an impactful edge rusher. ESPN's Bill Barnwell wrote, "The only issue for the Falcons is salary cap space. They are $8.6 million over their projected cap in 2025, and would need to create another hole on their offensive or defensive line to free up space." The 29-year-old Garrett, who has been an All-Pro for 5 consecutive years and won the NFL Defensive Player of the Year award in 2023, recorded a league-high 14 sacks and 22 tackles for loss while starting all 17 games in 2024. Garrett has 2 years remaining on a 5-year, $125 million contract he signed in 2020, and according to NFL.com, he has salary cap hits of $19.7 million and $20.4 million in 2025 and 2026, respectively. Atlanta has several financial issues to address, including quarterback Kirk Cousins, who will receive $27.5 million guaranteed in 2025 and is expected to play elsewhere. His salary cap hit will increase to $37.5 million if he is still on the roster on March 17th. In essence, the Falcons' hopes of trading Cousins will likely be for naught. As Barnwell noted, there won't be a team eager to absorb his salary. The Browns, however, make sense, as head coach Kevin Stefanski coached Cousins from 2018 to 2019 with the Minnesota Vikings, and Cleveland has a glaring need for a quarterback. Still, the move could be problematic for the Falcons from a financial standpoint. Garrett only has a base salary of $1.3 million this season, Barnwell wrote, but could the Falcons afford to call and trade Cousins, acquire Garrett, give him a new extension, and still plausibly remain under the salary cap? Only time will tell, but on paper, as Barnwell initially listed, the Falcons are an unlikely destination for Garrett's services.